Okay, I'm doing this again just in case you haven't seen the Brewfather one. I simply go to sydneywater.com just for an example, and they have a great little section on the water analysis. So you can go to try this on any of your water supplier sites. I can't promise it's going to be as easy to find as it is in this one, but this one has a little section on home brewing. And once you click on that, all you got to do is put in your address. If you've seen the other one, put in my old grandmother's address just for an example. And it gives you most of the details there, from your pH, your calcium, your sodium, your iron, your magnesium, and your chloride. So we'll bring BEERSMITH up, and the first thing we need to do is go into ingredients, into water, and up the top there we can add water. We'll add a new water record, and we just have to enter in the units. So if we have a quick look on the left there, we can see the pH is somewhere between 7.7 and 7.96. I'll just whack in 7.8 for now. Calcium is between 11.6 and 15.6, so we'll whack in 13.6. Magnesium's next. Again, there's a bit of a range there. We'll just have a little bit of a guess at 6.5. You can do it more accurate if you like. Sodium's easy, 20.7. Sulfates aren't there. Chloride is though. That's a 31.8. And bicarbonate is not there. We'll name it to Maryland's New South Wales. When I did the other video, I found this quarterly drinking water report. And if I scroll down and look through, I'll find some averages. Might take a little bit of digging to find them. But there I can see that they have the pH listed there again, and the average there is listed at 7.9. So I'll adjust it in BEERSMITH to 7.9. And find the alkalinity there. It's listed as CaCO3. BEERSMITH over here wants HCO3. If you remember from my water video, if you haven't seen it, you should probably watch it. There is a conversion you can do to convert between the two, so I simply have to times the CaCO3 by 1.22. That gives me the 59.78. So I can enter that into BEERSMITH. Now if we go back to the diagram, there's also sulfate there, and that's 9.8 to 11. So we'll go with a 10.4 for the sulfate. And that'll do us. So we can press OK, and that will save it into our profiles. We can use it anytime we want. So we'll go into my recipes. I'm going to muck around with my zombie lust. First I'll lock this one down so I don't change anything because it's a set recipe. I'm going to copy it and paste another version of it. I'll click on one, unlock it, change the name so it's a water test, and that way I'm not fiddling around with a set recipe that I've already done and want to keep. can go into the water tab. And we can search for the Maryland's water and add it. It's added the amount we need. Sometimes it doesn't if you've got certain windows ticked. You can adjust it here and add exactly what you need. I'll get rid of the salts that I used in the previous batch, and we'll try to match a target profile. I'll guess we're looking for a West Coast style IPA, so we'll just pick out one, I don't know, Washington DC. There you go, that's West Coast. Enough for me. And it gives you the mash additions and your sparge additions to the salts you need to add to match the water profile. You can see it's a bit light in some salts there, but that's Washington DC water. And come back to the recipe and you can see it's added in the salts we need for mash and sparge. Since I usually don't add it to sparge, I add it to boil most of the time. I can change that just to boil, just to make it look better and fit into the recipe better. And you're set to go. Now the next thing we have to check is the mash pH now. The mash pH is a bit high there, 5.66. So we want to bring that down. Go back into the recipe. I'll just try and add the pH here to the front screen so we can see it and don't have to flick between tabs. If we look here, I can find the adjusted mash pH and we'll add that to the front screen. That just makes things a little bit easier. It just adds it to the list there. So now we can go back here, we can try and add some acidulated malt or some lactic acid. We'll try some lactic acid, try 2 ml, see where that gets us. That's got us to 5.55. Need a bit more. It's got us to 5.53. That didn't take it down much, did it? Probably should have... What am I doing? 2.8, no, that's still not enough. 5.5, so we'll go to like 3. 5.5, we're still high. Try 4. That's got us down to 5.45. At least we're in the blue zone, in the safe zone. And you might go 5 ml. Now that's a fair bit of lactic acid. I'm not sure how much people like to use. But we'll try acidulated malt. Just best malts is what I have at the moment, I think. And we'll try 200 grams. That gets us to 5.47 mash pH. And so we might try 250, 5.43. Go a bit more, 300. And that's probably enough. I mean, until you brew, you're not really going to know, but at least you're in that sort of safe zone. We can go back, just check the water again. And we're still a bit light on salts with this Washington DC water profile. So what if we want to try another one? Just delete all the salts out of there. Match a target profile again. We'll choose something else. So all the programs have different selections. I don't know. We'll just the Hoppy Pale Ale sticking out to me, even though we're doing an IPA. We'll use that. That adds a lot more salts we have to use for that version. All the numbers are a lot higher. That sulfate's a bit higher than I like to have. But, you know, it's not our water profile. We're relying on BEERSMITH. Gives you all the different salts you need to add. The mash pH is fine there at 5.3. So we've still got the acidulated malt there from last time when we adjusted it. but you know, it gets us at 5.3, which is perfect. Just check over in the session tab. Everything looks good. So really that's it. I hope that made some sense. So you can go along with the recipe, and if everything goes to plan and you take your pH reading, you're probably not going to be spot on. You're probably going to be up or down. And the next time you do it, just adjust your... probably the easiest way to do it is to adjust your pH in your water profile you're using, just up or down a little bit. And try again next time and see if you can get it closer. Alright, that's enough for this video. Thanks for watching. Likes, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks to my Patreons, and we'll see you in the next water video. Cheers.